So we're... Oh,
Alright, let's do this. Lit Circle number 2 of 3 Cups of Tea by Greg Mortensen and David Oliver Reelan. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let's start off with your first thoughts on the second half of the book.
It got better.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was like, there was a lot more happening. Like, in the beginning it was kind of slow. And then, like, they finally got into, like, the projects and, like, building the bridge and the schools. And, like, the pace picked up and things got better and more interesting.
Yeah.
So I found it very inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, the pace picked up. He basically said it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What was your favorite part about the book?
My favorite part about the book was the message about educating girls that Greg dedicated a lot of his life to doing.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, he started off with, like, just building schools, and then it became more into, like, empowering women and, like...
girls.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings back, or, like, probably a reason is his little sister.
Yeah.
Died.
And what, like you said, education is... What was that called? Educating the kids is the key to stopping hatred or something. I can't remember it now.
Yeah, well, that's another theme too, like the war that was happening in Pakistan and Afghanistan. Oh, I don't know, people say that, like, helping the kids is most important.
Like, he said that, like, the kids, like, the boys that can't read or write or, like, don't have any literacy, like, if you educate them, they have a lower chance of, like, getting into the Taliban and, like, Al-Qaeda and stuff like that. Like, they have a, like, education is keeping the peace. It's helping to keep the peace.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. Like, I found that very important, and I thought that was, like, he, like, did a lot with his life, and he was a very busy man. Like, it takes a very courageous person to dedicate your whole life to building schools and helping poor villages, and especially, like, Afghanistan and Pakistan, like, two very dangerous countries. Like, he never once thought about himself and, like, his danger. Like, he only thought about, like, bettering the lives of the kids there. And I thought that was very heroic of him.
Yeah. So I have two kind of questions about that. One of them is, like, what are some of Greg's virtues what are some of Greg's virtues? And, like, that contribute to his story, too, or his journey.
I think that, like, one, it definitely is, like, how selfless he is.
Selflessness.
Yeah. Like, especially, like, in the beginning, he gave up everything and he lived in his car for, like, a year to raise money so he could go through on this promise that he made to them. And then he kept, like, obstacles kept being put in his way, but he, like, overcame them. Like, he has a lot of, like, perseverance.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think like, it would take a lot of me, and I bet it took a lot of him to accomplish these things, but, like, it doesn't take an average person.
Maybe, like, it kind of goes along with selfless, like, courageousness and, like, courage or whatever to do what he believed in.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's this one part I remember, I don't know if I can find the quote for it. I don't remember where it was. But, it said, no, I can't remember. It was that right there. No, I totally forgot. Can we come back to that?
Yeah.
So I can remember. Do you have another question?
Do you think Greg is a hero? We kind of talked about that in English last year. What makes a person a hero?
Oh, yeah.
I would say that he is a hero.
Yeah, like, I don't think he would look at himself and be like, I did this to be heroic. He did this out of, like, because he wanted to, and because he, like, I would say he's a hero. Like, he's helped save or improve so many lives.
Yeah. Like, he was selfless, and he made good change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very extraordinary person.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me... found it, like, a very, like, inspiring book. Oh, the thing that I was thinking about is, like, I did highlight it. I think I know where it is. It says, it's something, like, people always say, like, when you think about, like, next time you ask yourself, like, can one person really make a difference? Like, you look at Greg Mortensen, and he made such a big difference, and he is only one person. Like, one person can make a huge difference. And, like, I was kind of thinking about this the other day, like, it is, like, me stop doing something, or, like, me helping to start doing something, is that really going to have an impact? And, like, one person can have a huge impact on the world.
Yeah.
It might not, like, yeah, but...
It might not be a Greg Mortensen impact.
But, like...
yeah.
You can still have a big impact on the world by just... you.
Mm-hmm. And, like, it doesn't happen to everyone, but it could. Like, Greg's an example that being courageous or keeping promises or building relationships with people could.
Yeah. And, like, how you were, like, Miss Tao was saying the other day in class, like, what was it, like, building, like, networking is so important. Like, that's what he did. Like, networked. Like, he learned, like, he met new people. And this kind of goes along with it. It says, a lot of us think about helping, but Mortensen just does. Like, he doesn't think about it, he just helps. And, like, I think that's something to, like, live by. Like, don't think about it, just do.
Yeah.
Like Nike. Just do it.
Just do it, bro. So as long as we're talking about Greg Mortensen as, like, a person, in real life, there was a scandal or whatever a little while, like, recently, like, I think, like, 2009 or something, that, like, some documents were released or something that he took out, like, $1 million or something from the Central Asia Institute, which is, like, the thing that he started. He took that money out for himself for funding for speeches that he gave and his book, his 2 books, or 3 books. And then he never, like, the profits that he made from those, he never gave back to his thing. So, I don't know. Some people were mad about that. Some person even wrote a book called 3 Cups of Deceit.
Really?
Like, about how Greg Mortensen's a bad person. So, I don't know.
I wonder if, like, one thing like that can, like, destroy everything that he did.
Yeah, so then that kind of, I was thinking about if that makes him a bad person.
That kind of makes me angry, like...
Yeah.
Like, why?
Because on the one hand, it never seemed like he was really interested in money or gaining personal
he even
things.
said that, like...
lived out of his car.
Yeah, and there's this one line where he was, like, talking about how he made $27,000 a year, and they were barely making enough to, like, live each month. But he felt bad taking any more money from CAI, Central Asia Institute, because they were so short on money to begin with, and, like... He felt like they needed it more, like, so he could make a bigger impact on the world.
Yeah, so maybe, like, all of his money and personal money and, like, time and effort that he put in, like, he deserved. Yeah.
$1 million. Maybe he needed, like...
Yeah. And then some people also say that he lied or just really dramatically described some parts of his book. So the part about where he gets kidnapped by the Taliban for 8 days, there's a picture that he uses. I don't know if he uses it in his book. Probably not. The Taliban people who kidnapped him and then released him later. And so people who care about this or whatever, or think that Greg's a liar, found like 5 of those like 11 people that were in the picture, and at least 3 of them were like, I'm not in the Taliban, like that's not true, I don't know why he used that picture, and they said they weren't in the Taliban. So I don't know, it's kind of, I mean, I see how it is a book and
Yeah, like, sometimes people,
it wouldn't be as interesting.
yeah, like, he has to, like, I feel like people do that all the time, like, you even see that in movies, like, things get, like, out of hand and, like, what's the word, exaggerated, and, like, this whole book, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, parts of it were, like, made up, like, you have to make it interesting for people to want to read it.
Yeah. So I see that on one hand, but then the other hand is like, it's
yeah.
he's claiming that he's telling the story of his life, and then he just
Yeah.
kind of made that up, maybe.
But, like, there's only, like, who's gonna really, like, know that? Like, him,
Yeah,
and, like,
nobody really knows.
or maybe, like, he used that picture just for, like, the book, but, like, those weren't actually the people.
Yeah.
Because who has a picture of him in the Taliban?
I was like, would they just pose for the picture?
Yeah, let's quickly just get a picture so I can tell everyone I was kidnapped by the Taliban.
So, I don't know, then it's like, maybe if that didn't actually happen, like, I was wondering why would he include that then? Is it, like, maybe to make himself look more heroic or, like, tough or something? Or is he trying to paint a bad picture of the other side, you know, like people do, of the enemy, to make what he's doing look better? I don't know, people do that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know, it was probably a little bit of everything if it wasn't true. I mean, maybe it was true, he just, like, or maybe they weren't part of the Taliban. They were just, like, but he did actually, like, get kidnapped.
And then there's the whole thing, he didn't even speak that language. Maybe they were like, oh, we're just gonna keep you here.
Yeah. He, like, didn't quite know what was happening. Because he didn't speak their language, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, maybe it was just, like, a miscommunication.
And he exaggerated it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I exaggerate things all the time. Does that make me a bad person? No, I don't know.
Should we talk about Greg more, or should we be done?
We can come back to him if we find anything else.
Okay. So, we talk about, like...
What I found surprising is, like, how accepting everyone was of him.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, he left out some of the parts, like, where he wasn't so accepted and he had to work more
You
for
mean,
it.
like, Afghanistan?
Yeah, like, in Afghanistan or, like, in Pakistan, like, all, like, Haji Ali and... What are some of the other... I can't remember now their names. Muzaffar and, like, all those people, like, were just so accepting of him and, like, just took him in as a... Yeah, I know, he's such a sweet-looking guy.
Some guy.
Like, and, like, how... I was really surprising, like, if I went there, I'd be scared, like, that people were gonna, like, take advantage of me, but, like, he makes it seem like everyone was so accepting.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Like, it made me feel like, oh, everyone is so nice.
Like, you mean, really philosophically, humans are inherently good people?
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it, but then there were, like... And he always talked about, like, how this... I can't remember. There were, like, some people that were in charge, and, like, they might have been, like... or, like, not taking him in as, like... Or, like, banned him from building schools or something, but, like, he was automatically, like, just accepted. And I wonder if that goes, like, along with the Taliban thing. Maybe he, like, exaggerated it or left some parts out. But he makes it seem like everyone was very fond of him.
Yeah, and that other guy, too, with the French guy, or maybe it wasn't French, who died and wanted the picture.
Oh, yeah. Like,
everyone... he came around quick.
Yeah. Everyone seemed to come around real quick to him. Which I find, like... nice, like, it's a pleasant thought, but, like, I find it surprising.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's let this white guy come into our village and, like, change things. I mean, I guess I would let someone build a school if I didn't have one.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. Okay, we're still rolling. We could talk about like symbolism,
Symbolism?
like
Sure.
maybe the tea or something.
Oh yeah, I like that part. Like when they're like 3 cups of tea, 1 you're a stranger, 2 your friend, and 3 your family. And when your family will do anything, even die. Like I like that. Like goes back on like you need relationships to make it in the world. Like to be anything in the world, relationships are key.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Like, and I think that we sometimes take that for granted. Like we don't take time in America to sit down and build relationships.
Yeah, especially, and it says to do business the first, and then it says
Yeah.
the tea thing, like to do business. I can see,
Yeah,
especially
like,
with
we all just like want to like get on with it. We don't take the time to get to know one another, like build like a strong relationship.
and there it's like all about trust too.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess that's here too, but like you just communicate by email or whatever.
Yeah, like we
now.
don't get actually like take the time to like learn about each other or like
Mhm.
get a feel of like what the other person's like. And I feel like America kind of just needs to like slow down and take a breath sometimes. Like everything is so fast paced.
Yeah, it's like time traveling or whatever. Somebody said that. Maybe it was Miss Tao said that. When you go to
Yeah.
a different part of the world sometimes. I don't know, and yeah, the multi people just value communication, it seems like, more than
Yeah.
we do.
It's I don't know, I like that. Like it makes me like it would make me feel more at ease if like everything just kind of slowed down and we took a time to like actually like build genuine relationships.
Mm-hmm. I could see that even in like school too. We have so many commitments and responsibilities to do.
Yeah.
Don't even get to know people. Okay. Talk about theme.
Yeah, what do you think were some of the themes of the book?
Well, I don't really think it's changed much since last time. Like, if you dedicate yourself to what you care about, good things will come of it. Or
Yeah.
make sure your work, what you do for work, is something important to you.
Yeah, like I feel like you're more successful if you're doing something that you actually love.
Mm-hmm.
Like that might not be true. Like I get people are in businesses that they hate and make billions of dollars, but like I feel like work is more meaningful when it's actually something you love. Like Mortensen, like he loved this. He loved that it was his job. He didn't mind being away from his family for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and on that note, how do you feel about his wife being okay that he was gone for like months at a time in Pakistan with like no communication?
Well, she was literally like pregnant in bed with her
Yeah,
child.
and she had like at the end they had like 2 children and he was like never home.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's love.
Yeah, like you gotta really love him, man. I don't think I could
His
do
last
it.
girlfriend wasn't too fond of
That. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just talking. Oh, the theme. Oh yeah, and then I think also the really crabby. Is he French? The guy who started the
I think so.
institution. I don't know, cause in the audiobook.
Yeah, I think he was French.
Oh, whatever, Jean something.
How you do? Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it.
He was like dying, obviously, and I feel like he'd done a lot of cool or important work, but maybe not something as meaningful. And so then he donated all that money to Greg, maybe to do his duty, citizen on Earth.
And then like when he was dying, like I found that his wife was just so keen to like going on a road trip in a snowstorm to go deliver some pictures to a dying man. Like his wife was very okay with a lot. This book kind of seems iffy to me now after you said that thing about the Taliban and stuff. Like, how much did he make up? Maybe the whole thing is just made up.
I mean,
Actually, but I like the book. Like, he seems like a really good man, and like his heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
And I like this quote on the book, like, one man's mission to promote peace, one school at a time. Like, that's what he was doing. His like, education was to produce peace. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we have no Talibans here, because all our kids are uneducated. But this book, like, made me take, like, my education for granted. Or, like, it made me feel like I'm taking my education for granted.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes... And that makes me sad, like, because I have such a good education, like, at the tip of my fingers compared to what they have. Mm-hmm. And I just don't do as well as I could. And, like, I don't know, it makes me sad.
I mean, you can also think about, like, how much I don't know. Like, they just are learning very basic things, but we're pushed to learn, like, take college classes in high school and stuff like that,
like,
too.
go above and beyond, like, what we should, and, like...
It's like, is that really as important as...
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I mean, obviously, AP classes are good to some point, but...
Sometimes it just gets, like, I feel like we don't have the chance to be children anymore. Yeah. Which makes me really sad, like... And, like, I watch, like, my friends, and, like, we're so busy... all of us, and, like, none of us, like, have a chance, like, slow down and just take a breath. And so much pressure is put on it, and it's been like this for generations in America. Like, education is everything. And education is very important, I get that. It's just, I feel like sometimes we just need to take a breath and slow down.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, kids in Afghanistan, the Balti children or whatever, have other things to worry about that we don't.
Yeah.
Like eating and stuff. But I don't know, it's just different. Like, it's crazy how different people we are, and then also how similar we are.
Yeah.
Like, what's that one quote?
I don't know.
It's like... I don't remember. Okay. We can talk about other themes, too. So, then we kind of also talked about, like, the power of education is a theme. The peace, that it makes peace. We talked about that at the beginning.
I don't know. I underlined this quote. I thought it was kind of interesting. It says, "In times of war, you often hear leaders, Christians, Jews, and Muslims, saying God is on their side. But that isn't the truth. In war, God is on the side of the refugees, widows, and our orphans." Like, I would find it hard to think that, like, God would be on the people who's causing the war, like, side. Because, like, that's not what he's supposed to be about. And, like, I feel like he would rather be, like... So I find that truth, like, that quote to be true, like, he is on the side of, like, keeping the orphans and the refugees and the widows, like, safe. Like, but I don't know why they don't include, like, children and mothers in that either. Like, I feel like he's there to, like, protect the people that don't have protection.
Yeah, we should protect the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
People.
I also find it, like, very sad that, like, how much hardship were, like, in the lives of the Pakistanis and the Baltis and people who live in Afghanistan. Like, it's things I can't, like, imagine. And he, like, really shines light on, like, how hard life was there.
Yeah, like, regardless of if he's a good person or not, his impact is just something of itself, you know?
Yeah, it was, like, significant, and I think he helped a lot of people open their eyes and, like, see that. We miss a lot because we're sheltered. I feel like a lot of the times Americans are sheltered and, like, they think life is great and things are, like, but, like, you step outside of America and, like, you see so much hardship in the world.
Yeah.
But I also find beauty in, like, them because they don't take anything for granted. Like, everything is a treasure to them. And I like that. Like, I wish we were more like that. We just, like, take everything for granted, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's this quote, it says, "I don't want to teach Pakistani children to think like American," Mortensen says. "I just want them to have a balanced, non-extremist education. That idea is the very center of what we do."
Who is he talking about?
Like kids in Pakistan.
Oh.
He doesn't want to like teach them to think like Americans, because I agree with that. Like, I don't think that like we're the smartest or like the brightest people. Well, Americans are just plain. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, I don't know. Like, Americans are smart. And, like, we're very good. Like, we're a very developed country, and we have a lot of good resources. But I also think like Pakistanis like also have like a lot of things to teach us, like about stuff that like books can't teach you. Like, books can't teach you to like slow down and like take a breath or like build relationships. Like, you have to do that through experience. And like, I don't know. I like that he's like not trying to have them not take the little things for granted, and that he's still trying to have them be Pakistani, just like with education. He's not trying to make them American.
He's not like sending in a bunch of American teachers either.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have anything else? I can just say like, do you think the end of the book was satisfying, or like just the whole book experience? Do you think it was good?
Well, I think like the end of the chapter, he was just getting into like his like pursuits in Afghanistan and him like starting to build there, and I wanted to like know his story in Afghanistan. That book would have been really long then if this was just his like Pakistani adventure. But like, I found it satisfying. Like, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was like, I thought it was a feel-good book completely, and then I mean I researched a little bit his critics, what his critics say, and that made me feel more uneasy about it, because I could see how it is all just exaggerated and like scheming, and but I think that no matter what, he
like, even if he built one
fine.
school, like, that would still have been an impact, and it would have still made him a noble man.
Yeah, his
like,
message is good. I don't know about him as a person.
Like, yeah, I can't like judge him on his character, but like what he did, I found very like courageous, and like, maybe that's not the right, but like impactful, and like, I think that he was a very good man for what he did.
And the book also spreads the message of building relationships with people of other cultures. We didn't really talk about that, but I mean,
yeah,
that like in the last like chapter or whatever, he's talking about the granddaughter of Hajj Ali, right? And I just thought that was really touching. Like, a completely different world, and he was so proud to see.
Yeah.
Her family.
Like, we're not all that different, yet we look at the people in like Pakistan and Afghanistan, or like people all over the world, like as, and I feel like a lot of Americans do this. Like, we look at them like down, like they're lesser than us, like when they just have different conditions. Yeah. Like, it doesn't mean that we're different. It just means we're put in different positions, which, like, I'm not trying to bash on Americans or like them. I'm just saying like things are different all around the world. Yeah. And I feel like we need to like start like mixing cultures and like building relationships with different cultures, so that we can finally see that like things aren't different, that we're like not that different.
And see people for their insights and their
because like he learned a lot from like the people in Pakistan. Like,
like I think the person who had the most impactful message was Hajj Ali. Yeah, in like the book, not Greg.
He taught Greg like a lot, and Greg was like grateful for that.
That's like 30 minutes. All right, that's it.